Hi Paul, well I'm with Paul Terzis today from Commercial Kitchen Company. Paul, we've known each other for a long time, 17 years of all time, so
Too long.
too long. Today, thanks for taking the opportunity. I'm working with a lot of your sales team at the moment. They're very experienced in the industry, a broad range of experience. And the question I was going to ask you, over the 17 years that we've known each other, well, how long have you been in hospitality, working in the industry?
Yeah, in and out for 35 years.
About 35 years. And has there been a single event that's impacted the hospitality sector, how it's been impacted right now with COVID-19?
Yes. Never. COVID's number one. Of course, people had talked about the global financial crisis, which affected us, but people didn't spend as much, and all big companies didn't spend money and all that. But that's when finance become involved, and probably a little bit stronger in our industry. But now it's number one by a long way.
One thing I'm encouraging your team to do at the moment, because they've got a wealth of knowledge dealing with a range of customers, from small cafe owners right through to pubs and clubs, large restaurants, and they're exposed to what businesses are doing and how they're adapting to a unpredictable market and environment at the moment. So that knowledge is very powerful. Is there a particular example that you could share that you're seeing in the market? You don't have to name the customer, of course, but what they've done to adapt in this environment?
Yeah, I think a couple of the key restaurants in our industry they had already adapted prior to COVID. In other words, they had all the software in place to record customers' details and drag and collect all that information. The thing that they didn't have was that home delivery service, or that delivery service, and the timing of that was happening just prior to COVID. So the likes of all the home delivery companies started to become more popular, but they weren't using them. COVID made them have to use it. Well, the ones that wanted to were able to use it. In turn, that meant that they had to offer their meals, or that they were serving in their restaurant, or the meals that were the most popular in their restaurant, in 5-star restaurants or 4-star restaurants, and have the ability to have them home delivered or take away. Because whilst COVID shuts everyone down, they still want to be able to build a couple of restaurants in Broadbeach did exceptionally well with that, and they were doing orders of 110, 120 people on Mother's Day, and having take-home packs with even bottles of wine and so forth. And one of the owners said to me that it's been the most profitable day in history, because he only had to employ 2 people in the kitchen. So that also came because he had a log of all the customers that had previously been with him. Other new customers of late, even with the latest shutdowns, have adapted and brought in home delivery services and things like that, where they're just cutting up salami, putting it into packages and sending it home, for $18 for 10 slices of salami and a bottle of wine and some bread that they baked on premise and things like that. The customer could have gone and bought 6 sticks of salami, but no, they're quite happy to purchase it from their restaurant, and they want to do it that way. Even cocktails being delivered at home. So the ones that have changed and have made the change are still collecting ongoing, even when COVID lockdowns are not in place. That delivery service still continues. So yeah, some have done very well, some have done extremely poor.
That makes sense. If someone was to come and see you today, who's looking at opening up a establishment for in the near future, what are the 3 things that you would actually give them advice on if they were looking to do a fit out, if they were looking at starting a new business?
Yeah, I think the number one thing would be to diversify your business as much as possible. Mm-hmm. You've got to be open to all circumstances, and be open to think what the customer's thinking, and not internally what your dreams are of only. And that's an important part. I think that's probably the most important part. Number 2, to drive your dream and to maintain your dream, and to keep that fire inside your belly, but be willing to listen to people that already have experience in the industry. I think that's a key thing we can all learn from history. and continually learn from history and people that are out there wanting to open up a new restaurant or open up an extension or do something new. Go back through the history, learn from people who have the experience and take on board those. And probably the third most important thing is to really just keep focused. Keep focused on what you want to achieve in the business and what you want to get as the outcome. In the end, the business is there to make the money. Yeah, you're there to enjoy it, but you're there to make money. Yeah, so I know it's a hard and cruel thing, but it's the honest fact is that we're all in business to make money. Yeah, and people who say that they're in their business because they just do it for fun, well, give me your money.
One thing I'm interested in, have you seen any shift in the way people are financing their under the current climate? Like, I mean, if they've got capital to purchase equipment and supplies at the moment, have they shifted to looking at conserving that in some way, or do you think that's just remained fairly consistent?
Oh no, I think there's a slight shift. If more finance companies release the money quicker, it'd be better.
Yep.
But we have to bring that forward to the customer and give them the options that are available to them. There's plenty of options that are available to the customer now. They need to conserve their cash flow. Who's to say when the next lockdown is, or to when the next shutdown is going to be? And to say, oh, at least I own the equipment and or I own all my smallwares, or I own all this. Well, that doesn't produce your money again. That doesn't produce your profit by owning it. At least I have the flexibility to negotiate with my finance person to say, hey, can you give me some reprieve for a couple of weeks, or for 3 weeks or 4 weeks? And government laws are stating that they have to abide by those things. So conserve your cash flow, keep it at home. You're there to take money out of the business, not put it into the business. And use the finance that's available to us all in the industry, and utilise it. Conserve your cash flow and use other people's money to make your money. That's what all the big guys do around the world. And if we learn from, again, history, we learn from the big guys. It's not their money they're using other people's money to make their money.
Good advice. Well, thanks for your time today. I mean, you've got 2 showrooms, one here on the Gold Coast, in Upton Street, and the other one's in Springwood. Both, we've got a very accommodating team there, and I'm more than happy to provide advice to your customers and support your customers in decisions. You all make great coffee in each establishment, so pop in and see Paul and his team, and thanks again for your time.
Thanks, Phil.